How's it going, bro? So, diving straight into this one, you may have seen a video on my channel I posted fairly recently, probably around a week ago, slightly over, where I was talking about my teenage years where, without mincing words, I was obese. Now, as you can tell, I'm definitely no longer obese. If anything, I need to actually bulk up a bit. I've been working on it, but we're getting there. Nonetheless, I've done extensive research into this topic, applying the knowledge myself, and this is the findings I have. Number one diet, for the purposes you already know the title, is eat as much meat as possible. Literally. Number one rule. And yes, there's a lot of studies that show that red meat's bad for you and all of that. Ignore them. There's enough evidence more recently that shows all of that is not valid. It's outdated research. Now this is where it gets a bit finicky. If your number one goal is muscle growth, have 5 or 6 meals a day. However, if you want a more balanced approach where, yes, you want to grow muscle, but you also want to be more productive and work on your business, work on your studies, as I mentioned, you probably are more on that side. Then instead of having 5 or 6 meals, have 3 or 4, maybe even less, but 3 or 4 is where I prefer to be. Now, what these meals would consist of is 100% have eggs, minimum of 3 a day, but honestly have as much as you want. Up to 10 I think is perfectly okay. It's not going to screw up your cholesterol. I went through a long period where I was having anywhere from about 6, 7, 8, usually in that range. I went for a cholesterol test during that period. Cholesterol was perfectly fine. Fry all your food in butter. Never use oil except for olive oil. Olive oil is perfectly fine. But don't use any sort of vegetable oils, those weird like seed oil, sunflower oil, canola oil. That's really going to wreck your testosterone. Beyond that, yes, if you are bulking, obviously eat in a surplus. In that case, it probably is going to be a bit hard to get all your calories from meat though. In that scenario, you would want to have a few carbs. Good carbs that I think you could have quite easily. Avocado. I actually didn't mention this in my testosterone boosting video, but yes, avocado 100%. Sweet potato, potatoes. All of those are quite calorie dense, but it's also going to support your testosterone. All of which is healthy for you. The butter, that one I do want to talk about though. Don't go free-flowing with the butter and use too much. Most places they recommend about 20 to 30 grams. I'm actually going to up that a bit though to 40. Reason being, it has to do with saturated fats and all of that. And chances of you looking to boost your testosterone health, you're not having chocolates and fries and all of the unhealthy stuff. So as a result of that, you have a bigger budget as such for how much saturated fats you could have. So test it out. And cholesterol tests are really cheap. If your cholesterol's in a space where it's looking unhealthy, then yes, dial back on the butter. But that in itself is an interesting one. Wait, English is hard. But yeah, it's an interesting one because cholesterol itself is what produces testosterone. It's required to make testosterone. So if your cholesterol's on slightly higher side, as long as it's not going to screw up your heart or anything like that, by all means, continue with it. So a lot of meat, chicken's also fine. Then spices. In my testosterone video I spoke about spices quite in depth. But the ones that I use the most at least is fenugreek, chilies, salt and pepper naturally, nutmeg, garlic, ginger. I actually had someone comment in my testosterone video that cinnamon's also another useful one. Started using that a bit more recently as well. A lot of benefits to it. You can try it out for yourself. Now there's also a lot of things to avoid. Avoid sweets, avoid chocolates, you probably know that by now. But there's also weird stuff like avoid coriander. Coriander, a lot of Indians especially use it in their curries. avoid that. Mint, there's a lot of mint teas, mint chewing gum, mint chocolates, mint whatever it is. Just avoid mint. It's not going to significantly impact your testosterone, but it is going to slightly lower it. Another thing to avoid is, again, probably a more Indian thing, but it's seen elsewhere as well. Turmeric, or turmeric. I've never know how to pronounce these things. Speaking about things I don't know how to pronounce, cacao, that one. The thing you use to make chocolates, that will actually boost your testosterone. Use that. And yes, other than that, eat single ingredient items for the most part. So like think about it, chicken, single ingredients, potato, single ingredients. As soon as you buy something that's processed, you'll have like 10, 20, 30 ingredients. As soon as you see that, 100% avoid it. It's going to very likely screw up your testosterone. I think this gives you a very decent foundation on what to eat and also what not to eat. I'll see you in the next one, bro.